What do you say when asked to explain the difference between transitive and intransitive verbs? Having covered the grammatical subject in the previous episode in this series, we now turn our attention to the other part of the most basic sentence, the predicate, which says something about the subject. The most basic of predicates will consist of nothing but a verb. A verb is a word that names what the subject is doing or being, and a verb is called intransitive if all by itself it names a complete action the subject is doing without requiring a person, place, or thing to be acted upon. For example, in the short biblical sentence we looked at last time, Jesus wept, wept is intransitive because all by itself it completely names what the subject, Jesus, is doing. He wept. But some verbs are incomplete in context without a person, place, or thing that the subject is acting upon. And these kinds of verbs are called transitive. For example, the verb love is transitive in I love rock and roll because love all by itself would be incomplete. You'd naturally ask, you love what? Also, my love is acting directly upon an object, that being rock and roll. Other examples include say in just say what you mean, and criticizing in stop criticizing my grammar, you insufferable pedant. Importantly, some verbs can be used either transitively or intransitively. If instead of Jesus wept, I said Jesus wept blood, well, wept here wouldn't merely mean cried, it would mean produced something from the eyes by means of crying, and that would naturally require me to state just what Jesus wept, just what Jesus produced from the eyes, namely blood. So wept would be transitive here rather than intransitive. Now, if I haven't caused you to weep blood by now, why don't you come back next time? What do you say?